Better than Lego. Better than Lego.
Matthew Johns is in position for a long-range shot. He's with it now, Matthew Johns. Here goes the kick from Johns.
Welcome to the Johns Family Podcast for this week. Of course, it's going to be a grand final edition. Looking back, not previewing, and honestly, what a game. Unbelievable. We'll dive into it in a second. Tricia, how are you, darling? You going good?
Fantastic, thank
Good.
you.
Jack Johns, going good? Good. Great to have you in the room once again. And Cooper Johns, how you doing?
I'm very good.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what.
How are you, Matt?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm going good.
Someone's very perky.
Why? What are you suggesting?
Talking about your breasts?
No, I'm talking about like your workload's winding down.
Yes, a little bit
winding down.
Well, the exciting thing about this today, if people want their rugby league fix, like myself and Coop, we go up to the grand final, as in Cooper Cronk, but not afterwards. So today we're going to take apart the game, all our opinions and stuff like that.
That should be interesting.
Okay, let's get straight into it. Okay, before we talk about the grand final, if you could eliminate any insect, which would it be and why?
Midges. Freaking midges.
Are they mosquitoes?
Oh, they're tiny, teeny tiny. I think their nickname is
Sandflies?
No, not sand. They're not sandflies.
Right.
And they're between 1 and 3 mils big, so you don't see them. I've gotten attacked a number of times, and I think I'm allergic. And what happens? The bite stays and the itch stays for weeks.
We're talking about midges still?
And weeks. So badly, yes. That I actually peed on them once because it was so bad, and I end up having to go to the doctor.
Hang on, explain that to us.
So she's pointing basically above her elbow, and she said she peed on it. So, we're suggesting you peed into a glass.
It was
and then
lower
threw it on her?
forearm, and it drove me so crazy. They actually got infected. I had to go to the doctors, get antibiotic cream, and go on antibiotics because of them.
Because they say to wee on jellyfish stings.
Yeah.
But do they midges? I don't know if it has the same effect.
Well, I tried it. I was that desperate.
Would it work?
I'm just trying to think where
And
your
what
arm.
happens?
I tell you what, like
I've got long arms, mate.
You could be a budding Torrin Wishart.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm reaching for. My back's a bit bad, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I actually had the common moth.
Oh.
Have a really strong fear of moths. The dustiness to them.
Yeah.
Don't like the dustiness on their wings, and they just flap around, and they're attracted to light, and I just don't like it.
Is this sort of Silence of the Lambs issue too?
They're butterflies, I
Yeah,
think.
because he was
they're
a
moths.
moth.
Jane
He was the
Gum.
moth weird dude.
No, I just don't like him because one time a moth flew. I opened up the blind, it flew out and it flew into my face, and my face was all dusty and it just made me gross.
It's been a tough life, mate.
Yeah, that was as hard as it got.
Was that when you open your wallet and it flew into your face?
Oh, well played.
That's probably likely.
It would have been someone
Yes.
else's moth.
Yeah, exactly.
Jack?
I've gone with the centipede. Multiple legs. They just wig me out.
Human form?
Especially when they're big and you see them and they're just the way they move. It just doesn't sit easy with me.
Can they harm you? Can they bite?
Some can.
There's one that's quite bad, isn't it, with multi-legs?
Millipede or
Dunno.
there's a millipede and there's a centipede, but there are different variations. Like snakes, there's different variations of them that are poisonous and stuff.
Or you got
Yeah, they
Peter.
creep me out.
Or you got peed on your arm. That's the other one. Now, I've gone just the old-fashioned blowfly.
Yeah.
They freak me out. And the fact that, if you find one and it's had better days, the fact that they can release maggots, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I thought of this when I was penning this down. What's happened to lady beetles?
Oh, they're around at the moment. I've had 4 on me yesterday or on Sunday, and that in the wind.
Why are they attracted to you? I mean, I haven't had one on me for years.
Well, they're good luck.
You don't need any luck, Cobby. You got everything going for you.
Yeah.
Sure.
I need the luck.
The other one, where's Justin Bieber gone? That's the
He's
other
hanging
thing.
out with his wife, just leaving, and he's not well.
Won't last.
I think he has some sort of autoimmune
Has
issue.
he?
Yeah, he's not very well.
Did you see Peter V'landys came out last week?
Hang on, so we're going from Lady Beetles to Justin Bieber, now to Peter V'landys.
No, well, it's all relevant. Peter V'landys came out last week
yeah.
praising Reece Walsh, saying he was the rugby league version of Justin Bieber. And I thought it was weird that Peter V'landys even knew who Justin Bieber was.
He has young kids.
Oh, does he?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it was an interesting comparison.
Probably more Harry Styles these days. Oh, no, Justin Bieber.
Yeah, Justin Bieber. Yeah, I'd say Justin Bieber.
Righto.
Anyway.
Talking about Reece Walsh.
Do you know no one knows Peter V'landys' age? You cannot find it anywhere.
Really?
It's very interesting. Yeah.
Man of mystery.
Vampire.
Yeah, literally, you can't find his date.
Could be a vampire.
No one that knows him knows his age. It was pointed out to me by a friend.
Well, I'll tell you what, hats off to Peter V'landys. We have just come through, in my opinion, the greatest season of rugby league I've ever seen, followed by, concluded in the greatest grand final that I've ever seen. It was unbelievable. Firstly, some of the performances. Before we debate that, Nathan Cleary, greatest clutch player in rugby league. I think maybe you can test that to say forever. The biggest boys' performance turnaround that I've ever seen, because we're all sitting watching the game. Up until the 60th minute, Nathan was struggling. His kicking game was a little bit off. Penrith was struggling to fall into formation, and we'll talk about Jack Cogger in a minute, but they struggled to form into their usual formation. He missed 2 vital tackles in a row that led to Ezra Mam tries.
Oh, did he?
But then at the 60th minute, everything changes.
Made up for it.
I was very surprised when he missed that, especially that second tackle where Reece Walsh just beat him clean and went straight through. I thought he would have been, going off what usually happens, 90% of most halfbacks would have gone straight into their shell and would have just tried to not make any errors from there. But what he did that last 20 minutes was probably as good as I've ever seen any individual player take a grand final by the horns.
I think it probably is a benefit too of their game plan. Their game plan early, they're getting Dylan Edwards coming back under a lot, and their back rowers. They've been doing it at the back end of the year where they get their back rowers coming under heaps. And you saw it at the end, even Nathan's try, it was a 3v4 situation. The Broncos actually had the extra man, but Nathan just bounced off a tackle and went straight back through the middle, back at the markers, and scored the try. I think it was just a benefit of what they'd been doing all game, where they'd just been peppering that middle.
And if you look, we were talking about it early in the contest, about 15 minutes in, Jack, you said, have a look at the Brisbane middles. They were gassed. And you're right. All that turning of the ball back on the inside, just basically in that last 20 minutes, Brisbane found themselves on the road.
But it was a weird game. The first 20 minutes, you'll watch the Broncos pack, and they were gassed. And then first 20 minutes of the second half, you looked at the Penrith pack, and they were out on their feet. They were out. I'd never seen Isaiah Yeo look so tired in my life.
And that's the reason, in my opinion, it's great. We'll get to that in a second. Another big turning point in the game, a huge turning point, which has been largely overlooked, was the performance of Jack Cogger.
Yeah.
Now, Jack Cogger came on in about the 53rd minute of the game. Now, up until that point, I'm sitting watching the game going, why can't Penrith get their game on? When you consider all the possession they had, all the opportunity, yet they were 8 points, right? And for whatever reason, they just couldn't get it on. When Jack Cogger came on, and Jerome went off because of his shoulder injury, Jack really straightened him up. And suddenly they started to get their formation on, and he made a massive difference.
It was bizarre to see Nathan, I don't know whether it was a plan or not, but Nathan just fell out the back of all the shape rather than what his usual role is up, what Jack was doing, playing straight. But obviously he allowed Jack to do that, and Nathan fell out the back of all the shape and played as a fullback sort of Jerome role as he does. But it turned their game around.
Trisha,
notable performances. Did you watch it?
I watched the last 6 minutes.
Yeah, I was yelling out.
I was watching NCIS. Matt kept coming going, you've got to watch this. So I flicked over. All I saw was that I think the right teams were in the grand final.
That's a fair point.
Oh, geez, Trish.
That's a fair point. That's what led to it being such a great game. Stephen Crichton, incredible performance. He has been so classy the back end of the season since the Origin period. And then in that game, Nathan had 5 or 6 things that he had to nail for Penrith to win. Looking back in hindsight, if he'd had failed on one of them, I don't think they win. But Stephen Crichton the same. 2 or 3 really classy touches at the most important period. And Dylan Edwards, typical Dylan Edwards, no fuss. After the game, he'd not spoken about a lot, but ran for almost 300 metres. And can you believe not selected in the Australian squad?
Yeah, it's a bit of a running battle at the moment with the fullbacks, isn't it? They're all you can be a great fullback at the moment and like Dylan and not make the side. They've all sort of come out of the woodwork the last 12 rounds of the season.
Who have they selected?
I haven't had a good look at it. All I saw was that Dylan
Missed out.
Edwards
While,
wasn't selected.
while you're looking at that, couple of notable mentions to Payne Haas. He was unbelievable. I thought probably across the whole 80 minutes he was the best player on the field.
Oh, really?
I won't argue with that.
Yeah. Katoni Staggs and Herbie Farnsworth were phenomenal as well. Jesse Arthurs
had his best game.
had the
I
game of his life.
right.
Was on performance enhancers before the game. And like you said, Stephen Crichton was a phenomenal player out there
And
as well.
Ezra Mam.
Yeah, wham bam.
Ezra Mam, 3 tries in a losing side, and it was a pure hat trick. There was no other tries in between. Try. And most of the tries were almost against the run of play. They happened just completely out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Did I hear that he's quite a base paid player?
Yeah.
So he's just like bumped himself right
Ezra's
up.
only 20 years old, so I think
Okay.
he's sort of in the back end of a deal where, he might be on a couple
Well, my thing is too, like, if they're going to look to the future with Renault, whether they extend him for another couple of years.
How old, Reno?
33, 32?
Yeah, 33.
Yeah.
He's 33. Yep.
But like, do they look at putting Ezra at 7, or do they keep him at 6?
I don't think he's a 7. I don't think.
Well, this is going to be interesting because for Brisbane to stay where they are and to establish themselves like the Broncos did in the 90s, to maintain and create a dynasty, the 7 is going to be so important. Now, I think Renault will play for another 2 years. I think he will. But they need to now be looking over Renault's shoulder saying, Rudder, who's coming next? Because there's not a lot of halfbacks out there.
No.
Right? It wouldn't surprise me, and I'll throw it out there, it wouldn't surprise me whether they start to make a bit of a play for Sam Walker now.
Yeah, I think there's talk of it.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can put Ezra Mam. I think if you put Ezra Mam at 7, it's the equivalent of putting a Cameron Munster at 7, where
Yeah.
Ezra Mam's not really a known kicker or a game manager, but you watch him on the weekend, just all he did with those 3 tries was just step someone and run 40 metres and score. Like,
this is why their
it's his
spine has
strength.
been so good, is
Yeah.
because it's perfectly balanced. You've got Renault, who plays nice and straight and all his smarts, and you've got Reece Walsh, who's a pure runner who just blows them apart on the edge. Ezra, who can play through an opposition with his speed, and Billy Walters, who just ties everything down through the middle, of which the last 2 games, Billy Walters was outstanding. Full Kangaroo squad. Josh Adokar, the Fox, Patrick Carrigan, Tree Evans, Nathan Cleary, Selwyn Cobbo, Lindsay Collins, Ruben Cotter, Tino, Thomas Flegler, little Harry Grant, Payne Haas, Valentine Holmes, Ben Hunt, Liam Martin, Cameron Munster, Cameron Murray. Katoni Staggs gets a start. The Hammer gets a start. James Tedesco, captain. Jay Travojevic, Isaiah Yeo.
Okay.
That is one hell of a side.
Who are they playing?
Kalen, they're going to play. They play
Kalen not in
Samoa. I had a look there. Was he available? Because he wasn't picked.
Well, I think he might be. Are you looking at the Prime Minister's 13?
No,
that's-
no. Full Kangaroo squad.
Wow.
So
Mustn't be picked.
Don't know.
hang on
So
a sec.
Dalian player.
So Reece Walsh not named there at the moment either. I don't know. Is this?
What's your source, John?
How bizarre. We'll get Gav to check that as well.
Yeah.
But guys, in this grand final, where does it rank in the grand finals you've seen?
It's the greatest for mine.
Yeah, it was probably one of the most entertaining grand finals I've ever seen. Just because, especially the second half, just the flow of points, and a lot of those tries were like, especially the Broncos were like midfield tries, so they were actually quite entertaining tries to watch. So that was, yeah.
But
I'm going to say it was a really great one because it gave everyone a little bit of hope until that very end.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Both supporters.
Yeah.
Both teams.
Intensity, player performance, standard of football, drama, the finish. It's the greatest.
And like if you're going to do the three-peat, like Penrith, like if there was a blowout, I actually think that if it was a blowout, it would have meant a little bit less to them. The fact that they had to come
that's
back
right.
and really prove that they deserved to do the three-peat like they did,
Great win
said a lot.
in a great competition.
Oh,
A great
great.
field.
The best. The game is just flying at the moment, and the NRL deserve enormous credit for it. Gav's just looked at me. That is the side.
Yeah,
So no Kalen Ponga and no Reece Walsh. That's because I was thinking, they go away. Reece Walsh versus Kalen Ponga. Teddy's going to be under some pressure, but no Dylan Edwards.
That's interesting.
No Kalen Ponga, no Reece Walsh.
Wow.
I don't know if we're missing something here, but my greatest grand finals: number 1, 2023; number 2, 1989; number 3, 2015. Okay, Penrith. Certainly the best team, in my opinion, of the NRL era. The closest, I think, of the 2017 Melbourne Storm, that side. Other notables, Parramatta, 81, 82, 83. This is purely my opinion. Canberra Raiders of 94 were incredible. 92, 93 Broncos. Boys, in the last 50 years, I mean, it's hard for you blokes to gauge on that. In the NRL era.
The only two teams that spark my mind are that 92, 93 Broncos, where nearly every player on the field was a representative player.
Yeah.
And that Raiders side, Ricky Stewart, Laurie Daly, Bradley Clyde,
Steve
Lazarus.
Lazarus.
That 2017 Melbourne side, like, that was a great side. They were that dominant that year. That was it Josh Addo-Carr's first year at the Storm as well.
First year.
Vunivalu on the wing. I think the back row was Tohu was there.
Yeah.
Tohu Harris. Was Kenny or Felice was the other back row?
They
had some very good players.
What about the spine? Cameron Smith, Cooper Cronk, Billy Slater, Cameron Munster.
Like, that's got to be when you look at that back now. Like, I think even now you look back at that and you go, "That's one of the greatest."
It's actually
spines
aged better because Tohu Harris has become an even better player. Like, a lot of players have become better players after they've actually gone there. So,
and what's interesting about that team in 2017, the Melbourne Storm, for people that are rugby league train spotters, they changed all the principles about their football that year. Melbourne were a tight, fast team through the middle, and that year they played edge-to-edge football and sort of blew the opposition apart. Tricia, the NRLW, great game of football. Titans dominated possession,
and
field
it
position
played
early.
out a little like the men's grand final.
Yeah, it was.
Like Titans were in the lead.
And I was asked yesterday on radio, has anyone ever scored 3 tries in a rugby league game in a grand final and lost? And I went, let me think. Hang on, the NRLW.
Yeah. So Jamie Chapman. From Titans scored
3 tries.
Yeah.
And beautiful inside balls.
And then Ezra Mann.
Tamika Upton.
she's a freak.
Yeah,
she's a
she
good
shot
player.
it. Well, she was the Nathan Cleary of that game as well, right? Came in the end.
She's just on another level on that fit. Like, she just looked like the best player easily I've ever, one of the best female athletes I've actually seen. Like, how she moves.
And she's very slight, isn't she?
Yeah, she's not thick, but she's just so much quicker and more agile than everyone else on that field. Like, she just looks next level.
Yeah, she does. Yeah. People say, compared to Billy Slater, the way she moved it. Yeah, it reminds me of, like you said about slight, and her stride is Brett Mullins. The way, with her stride and her build, the way just sort of get through those little half gaps. And
Before we go on to the AFL,
go for it.
Horrible weekend for Queenslanders. AFLW, AFL, NRLW, and NRL all had 3 Brisbane teams, and of course the Gold Coast team and the NRLW, they all lost.
Yeah, but if we're looking statistically though, they were all there.
Yeah.
For a state that had so less numbers of teams.
It's been a great year for Queensland.
That's a big accolade for them.
Tell you what, in the next decade, that Dolphins versus Broncos rivalry, mate. What about next year? The Dolphins,
they're good,
mate. They're a smoky, in my opinion. You could look at them and there's an argument for having an early punt on them to be top 4. Wayne's second year in charge, he's very good that second year. They get Flegler,
Farnsworth. Jake Averillo.
Jake Averillo is a good player.
They just need. I think they need some help in the spine.
Yep.
But I think once they get now they get really starting to get the troops for it. AFL Grand Final.
Hang on, before you go on to that, can I just say one thing about Penrith?
So bad.
I know it's their 3rd grand final win, their 3-peat. But the thing is, what makes them so impressive, I think, is the fact that they keep losing players. They keep losing players, and everyone goes, can they hold on to all of them? But they bring in other players, like your Zach Hosking. They bring in relatively unknown players and develop them into their system. And that's, I think, the most impressive thing about them.
What about before the game, where the teams get up and say, like Moses Leota, St Mary's, Penrith, and they do that.
Yeah,
and we're looking going, St Mary's.
They're all locals.
And they're all local boys. I think 11 out of the 17 were local blokes.
Yeah.
And that just shows you, mate, they have got the biggest junior nursery
Well,
wherever
don't they have
rugby league
10,000?
10,000.
Yeah. Now, why don't they have an NRLW team for such a large, successful club with such a big pool to choose from? Why don't they have an NRLW? I would have thought they would have been one of the first. They're strong. They've got the money. They've got the pool. Why don't they have an NRLW?
That's a very good question.
Well, maybe with their plan with the pathways, maybe they've had that plan for a while now. They know where their funding's going. It's probably.
Yeah, but they're a very wealthy club.
Yeah. But
they are.
that's probably where the
Come on,
plan
guys.
was at,
Come on, guys. I know.
Gus's 10-year
Yeah,
plan.
I would just like to see that.
Oh, beautiful.
I know
Well,
Brian Fletcher listens to the show, so Brian, make it happen. Of course, I'm talking about Brian Fletcher, CEO,
CEO.
not Brian Fletcher,
You're Brian Fletcher.
lunatic bear's head. My show.
AFL Grand Final. Let's do a quick touch over of it. Shout out to Bobby Hill, who won the Norm Smith Medal, which is our equivalent to Clive Churchill. He was paying $101
On
to
the
win it.
AFL.
Yeah, and he was playing. He's playing as a full forward up there. $101, kicked 4 goals, and got it. So
Well, that's the
congratulations.
thing. That's a really surprising because I don't follow the AFL closely, but watching the first 5 minutes of the game, you went, "That Bobby Hill, he's the gun."
Yeah.
Now he ended up like that's just a neutral, ignorant observer. I was thinking when you told me that, I said, "How does it? Why was he 100-1?"
Yeah, I don't really. I think they just stick to the big gun. I don't think he's, their big
Like
gun.
under radar.
Yeah, I think like the Dacos brothers. I know they're the guns and stuff. So I think they were really short out.
I
short
forgot
outs.
that Crimo and Emma gave me a Collingwood jersey for my birthday.
Maybe explain who they are.
Now, Crimo works for Collingwood, and for my birthday gave me a lovely Collingwood jersey, and I forgot that I had it.
What a great gift.
It
I-
was.
well, I
Actually
gotta-
looks
Lots
quite
of
good.
lots of thought went into that gift.
Well, I sat the game. He gave me a pair of Jack Ginnivan.
That's right.
Shorts, and
Yeah.
I was sitting
Signed.
and I was sitting watching them in the game. Someone came around, and I was sitting there in my Collingwood shorts, and they went, "Interesting look."
What about the pre-game entertainment? They had Kiss. We had Tina Turner tribute performance. Jack, what was your opinion on both?
I didn't catch too much of the Tina Turner performance because I was actually driving to somewhere to watch the game. But the Kiss performance was very interesting. I actually missed out on seeing them a couple of years ago. I think Paul Stanley had a throat infection or something
He's
like
got
that.
lots of problems.
Yeah.
Do you know what though? Watching it, was it really Kiss? Who would know?
No, that was Kiss. You
Yeah.
can
No,
tell.
no, it was definitely them.
It was
Yeah,
Was there
God,
any
you're-
miming?
Did you see the tongue, Trish, of Gene Simmons?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you
Mimic that.
Oh, she was going crazy. Look at that.
No, they just didn't they'd sort of thickened up a little bit, and I just
Oh,
couldn't recognise them
People-
as well.
Oh, God. People
And I thought, you know what? You
mirrors.
could just whack anyone,
Be very
sort of same
careful, Trish.
shape and size.
Very careful.
Okay,
Members
you
of the
wanna
Kiss
write.
Army will burn this house down.
They will.
No, but I'm just saying, they're aging. Like, how old would they be? They'd have to be hitting 70.
Oh, they'd be in their
Do you know what I
mid-70s.
mean? Why wouldn't you just get a younger model pop out and let them mime a bit?
Well, the Wiggles do that.
You
don't
still
they?
get paid, you
Wiggles
know?
do that.
Upgrade.
Yeah.
Well, we're out of 10, Jack. Kiss.
I think they were very good. I think I'll give them an 8, 9,
Oh, wow.
maybe 9.
I'll give them a 7.5.
Yeah. My highlight was the kids, where they got the little kids out there air guitaring
Replicate.
next to them.
Yeah.
Kind of-
There is something
look-
very funny about watching little kids dress up as Kiss. 'cause,
Yeah, like
you
real
know,
little.
Yeah.
It's funny watching little kids dress up dancing around Kiss when you know back in the day the lifestyle.
Yeah.
of Kiss,
Yeah,
you're going,
that's exactly
Probably they're not high five. You know what I mean? Don't get them
Yeah,
out there
yeah.
with them. They're not really preaching to the younger audience.
Turn to the musical was good.
Yeah,
It
very
just
good.
showed, very hard to do justice in a huge
The
stadium.
musical, the musical and the performance aspect was great. The way they set the stage up was poor, and the camera angles of it was poorly planned.
I
That's what I'll
my,
say.
My only knock on it was what you get is what you see wasn't played.
Yeah, me too.
My only knock.
I thought they should have medleyed it.
Yeah.
They put it-
But
Could I
she
just-
should, the lady that was playing Tina should have been elevated, and I didn't want to see people's phones in the air on my screen.
Right.
So they stuffed it.
Okay.
But that's not the perform. The performers were exceptional.
Yep.
It was the way that it was planned, and that
Tell us-
shows poor planning.
I don't know if you're with me, guys, but I'll tell you one thing I found really strange. We'd seen just about the best first half that I've ever seen in rugby league. And I'm thinking, okay, second half they're going to take this all apart, and Scott Pippen.
And didn't he love it, Scottie Pippen?
And Smithy said, "Oh, what do you think?" And he goes, "I don't really know. I don't understand it." You go, "Fantastic, bro. Let's go to the second half." But you know what I mean? Like before, a little section in between the NRLW Grand Final and the NRL Grand Final to have a chat to him about his career for 5 minutes. You go, yeah, perfect. You know, later on in post game, so and by the way, this guy was here. Chat, okay, can accept, but half time.
Yeah, it was like just before the game, someone said Scottie Pippen's here, and they said we need to get him on, so they just chucked him on at half time, and he didn't. It was like they didn't even have any questions for him. It was very bizarre.
Again, poor planning.
Was he doing an ambassador role for the NBL?
Yeah,
Because I saw he was
promoting
wearing
the
NBL
NBL.
Because he and Luke Longley, a book called Running with the Bulls, I said before, which was Luke Longley's book, he spoke that he and Scottie Pippen were really close. He was close with Dennis Rodman, but he and Scottie Pippen were very, very close, and he's out here.
They should do like a tourist guide book. They should go to Spain and do a book, Running with the Bulls. They should go. Imagine
nice.
that.
I think
Two long
someone
men and a couple
got
bulls.
badly hurt, potentially killed in the running of the Bulls.
God.
Just recently.
Okay. On that downer.
Just crazy.
That's horrible.
I don't know why people.
Let's
would
go
do
to a
it.
quick break. Great little review, and we'll get into the rest of the podcast. Welcome back. Thanks for those messages, guys. Quick shout out for King Stingray as well, who was before the Tina Turner tribute. They were outstanding.
Oh, outstanding.
They were really good. Did a
Yeah.
rendition
They were
of
good.
Land Down Under.
Yeah.
Very well done. Anything from our week, guys?
I just put it on Grand Final Day again. People, we're sitting having lunch down at the Collaroy, and Cooper comes up with an idea. Why don't we go and get one of those baby pool things? What do you call them?
Oh, baby pool. They're inflatable. It's like an inflatable.
Inflatable pools. Put it on the balcony, and we'll sit there. And I said, what's the point? Cooper gets into these obsessions, doesn't he, Jack? And he's just got to make it happen.
Well, no,
Next
Jack's a bit like that too. He,
Okay.
He can
Oh,
get
mate.
on board.
Oh,
Yeah.
mate,
Where's your list?
Yeah.
All those bat caves we had in the house.
What?
God,
You know, you like to
Bat cave.
Like a fort.
a fort. Loved forts.
I like forts.
Every piece of furniture was gathered up onto one spot, so there was like some sort of fort cave
why you're my son.
situation.
I like Panadol Fort. But yeah, so on the balcony we have got this little pool that Cooper is out there. They're all sitting there with these beers, and I said, I know where this is going. This is going to get like this will end up in the garage in just like as a dust bowl in the middle. Cooper's going, no, it'll be sweet. Yesterday we said, oh, righto, we got all the water out. Or what? Okay, we're going to deflate it. Cooper goes, just stick a pin in it. I said, mate.
Did you actually?
No, excuse me. Like the Cooper's pool party was fun, and it wasn't a baby pool, Matthew, because it had drink holders.
Yeah, it was
and
good.
seats.
It was actually
And
because it
it was
was that.
great.
Anybody who was out and about on
Oh,
Grand Final Day, it was
hot.
that humid and hot. Dad just refuses to get on board
Yeah.
with any
Yeah.
family fun activity.
No,
Yeah,
anything
it does.
that he thinks might be a little bit of work for him. Like he wouldn't have wanted to have had to pump that up, blow it down,
Okay.
fill it, or.
Okay.
But you know what, Matt? It was a lesson for the boys because now they know how to siphon water out of a pool, up on a balcony,
Yeah.
out onto the grass. Also know how to siphon wine from a big keg in
Petrol
a bottle,
from a
and a
neighbour's-
petrol
Yeah.
from a petrol tank.
Yeah, like our
into-
neighbours.
Yeah. So they've learned something.
What did you have to say, Dad?
But what I have to say is, you went, oh mate, you wouldn't join in. Cooper, I was in there watching like the grand final day.
Yeah,
I was
he was.
I was watching the New South Wales Cup versus the Queensland Cup grand final. I was watching the NRLW. I kept running out doing school lines while
Yeah.
he's just sitting out there just lazing about.
Yeah. Well, it was a good day,
What
nonetheless.
what about your? You had a bit of a the other night. I went and picked up from the Crow's Nest Hotel. You had a bit of a Fox Sports.
Yeah.
Little bit of a farewell after your final show of the year.
We do that every year with all the producers.
You it was quite funny actually. You had all the boys were getting amongst it. They actually had little Harry Grant there.
Yes.
He was there because was he there on the show? What
he
did
was on the show. He came in as a guest in the last show.
because he had the Dalians night. Was it the night before or earlier
Yes.
in the week? So he was staying in the city. It got to a really weird stage. Next day I checked my phone and I had about 6-7 photos of Harry with random blokes, and I was trying to remember what happened. Harry reminded me he kept getting punished by people coming up to him. Not punished. In my eyes, for him, it was punished because they were coming up to him constantly, but he loves it. And it got to a point where Harry just thought, screw it. And he started going around the Crow's Nest Hotel and asking people for photos.
Oh, genius.
So I've got all these photos of him just with random blokes and just blokes that didn't even recognise him. They're going, yeah, no worries, mate. I'll just get a photo with you.
That's
It was-
beautiful.
It was so good.
He's
Little
on fire.
Harry.
He's a little
Turning
funny.
the tables.
He's funny after a couple of schooners, Harry.
So Trish was away last week too. When told Trish what we get up to.
What did
Yeah,
we
when
do?
Trish was away up at the Goldie for a couple of days, and
Ticket man.
yeah, there was Ticket Man. But remember we had the séance. Guess who we spoke to? Tupac.
What? It's Tupac. And what did he have to say?
And, well, mate, he might have tipped us off.
I think they've. Oh,
He tipped us off about who shot him.
yeah, because I think they've made an arrest, haven't they?
And we did Crime Stoppers, anonymous call, and look what's happened.
Yeah. Well done.
Who knew you could be so productive?
We're so good. Ticket Man. We those who didn't see it on my story, I did a little thing for Colin Jacchio where I had to dress up as Ticket Man, who was a superhero, and run in Penrith. And whoever got their hands on me and tackled me first won 4 tickets to the
You're
grand
quite
final.
elusive initially.
Are you serious?
Like a serpent.
Of course. I'm a semi-professional rugby league player too. Of course I'm elusive. Shout out to Davey Matthews. Listens to the podcast.
The
Young
band,
fellow out there.
From the band.
No. He was the man who tackled me.
Oh, right, okay.
Thanks for not hurting him, Davey.
No, he didn't hurt
On
me.
you, Dave.
Yeah. So shout out to Davey. He actually asked for a shout
What
out.
does Davey do for a crust?
Don't know.
He's a dealer.
Don't know. No, he was
Because you had a
trade-
lot of tradies out there,
he was
right?
a tradie. He had like a high orange high vis on. So whatever that
What were
means.
you wearing? What
Mate,
was,
you should
what
have
was
been
your
getting
kit again?
cards.
I had pink leotard,
Silver iPhone.
silver iPhone, yeah, like purple leggings.
What are they doing to you?
I don't know.
Contact you.
Yeah.
Turning me into intern Pete.
Yeah, no, your intern Pete's intern.
And what about the little fella who was chasing up behind and started crying because he couldn't catch up?
Yeah, we did a kids one after because kids weren't allowed to run because it was too dangerous because there was just too
Adult.
many big tradies. And we did a kids one after and this little fella couldn't catch up and he started crying because all the kids outran him.
Oh, well, that's a problem these days.
And I went up
Honestly,
to him.
son, everyone these days gets a trophy. Well, guess what? You shouldn't.
Stop it.
He was 5.
Well, he got one.
Yeah, I ended up giving him my boots, signed my
Yeah.
boots, and gave it to him.
Jeez.
So Ticket Man
and
was...
and his dad messaged me that night and he said, "Oh mate, he loves them." To be honest, he did think you were a Penrith Panthers player.
Whatever.
I said, "I don't give a shit."
How old is he? 3, 4?
Yeah, let's let him think.
Yeah.
Cooper's nasty review for this week on Reece Walsh. Come out before the game with a Yo Mama joke to a Penrith fan down at FanFest last week. So I thought, while we're on, I'm a big fan of Yo Mama jokes.
I don't know what they are.
You know, Your Mama so...
Oh,
You know
those
that?
ones.
You,
So,
could, you could actually tell too. It was one of those ones that was just like instinct, like from school when someone says something like that, you just go like your
mum.
mama.
Yeah, that's what the old comeback at school used to be. Someone says, "Oh, you know, you're," so you just go, "Your mum."
Yeah, but you know what? I felt sorry for Reece because he's got this next 3 or 4 months going to be really tricky. I've seen this a million times. His fame and adulation, wherever he goes, people will be drawn to him. It's clear that young bloke gave the phone to his mate. He stood in the foreground. Reece in the background and said, "Mate, I'm going to sledge him here and get a reaction."
Yeah.
Like Moses Leota is going to take your head off, and he turned around, honestly, and then people are hammering Reece.
Oh,
you
sorry.
go, give the kid
Explain
a break.
what happened. I
So
don't know.
his bloke said Moses Leota's going to take your head off, and then Reece said, "I'll take your mum's head off."
Yeah. No, he said your mama's.
Oh, your mum's.
Your
head.
mama's. But,
something like that.
and what it is, it wasn't a thing to mean, I'm going to take your mum's head off. It was just a natural, yo mama.
Yeah.
And people drew a conclusion that he said, I'm going to take your mother's head off.
Yeah.
Like, I don't,
Condone.
I can't speak for Reece, but I just do
It's a
not
long
think.
bow.
Yeah.
No, but Reece, it's all in good fun. But while we're on your
Except
mama,
for the assholes that try and turn it around.
it's all in good fun. Who
Always.
cares? At least they didn't suspend him or anything for it. That's good. Your mama dates back to a tablet, 3500 BC. They found a tablet that had a Yo Mama joke on it.
Do you know what that was?
They couldn't translate it. It was in some weird thing, but the basis of it was a Yo Mama
Love
joke.
Your mama?
3500 BC. That's before Christ.
Yes, thank you.
So before Jesus. That's how old
Great
Yo Mama
historian.
jokes are. And in the spirit, I thought I'd tell a Yo Mama joke.
Do it.
The one I read online. Yo Mama's so horny, she got fired from the sperm bank for drinking on the job. Which I thought was a good one.
Sorry?
Your mama's so horny, she was fired from the sperm bank for drinking on the job.
Yeah, I still don't really get it.
But you know what?
That's all right. Let's leave it
Looks
like
like we've got a spitter.
It's drinking the sperm.
Sorry. Ew.
Kind of doesn't work when you have to say it twice and then
I
explain it.
envisioned she was receptionist.
Yeah,
that. She might have been.
at the sperm bank.
Yeah.
Jack, your music segment.
Yeah, we've got our music segment this week. We're doing the 2-second game. We're gonna tee it up.
Hallelujah.
2
Praise the Lord.
seconds. Play it. The rules are going to be don't buzz in because I've seen a little bit of a habit lately of yours where you will you'll buzz in and take 2 or 3 seconds to think about it. So I want you to say the answer straight up, and if you get it wrong, you're out for that round.
Good, Jack. Like that.
All right. So is Dave just going to press it and we'll go
So
from there?
yeah, Dave's going to press the one. Okay, first song.
Yep.
Barracuda.
Matthew,
Barracuda.
well played.
The campaign. In God we must.
I've had about 5 or 6 small batch bourbons. Okay, 1 point to Matthew. The other 2. Second song, Dave.
I don't even know that song.
You might get a second go. If you don't get it, I can give you a hint.
Yeah.
Yeah, give us a hint.
David Byrne.
I definitely,
The Talking Heads song.
Once in a lifetime.
You're out.
Oh, that's how you get rid of your people. I'm not a massive Talking Heads girl.
I don't really know.
Jeez.
Bury Down the Hatch.
You're out.
That makes
Trish. Yeah, Trish is one.
Woo! This game's great.
Yeah.
She
Okay.
wins by default.
Well-
Win by deep, 1-1 here.
Yeah, but
you're
can we
out,
do
bro.
the third one? Is there another song?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
one more. It was burning down the house.
Ah,
I thought you would have got that.
I don't even know that song.
I would have needed a little
Wow,
bit more.
You love it, mate.
Okay, you boys can't answer this, so just suck
No,
it
no,
up.
it was just for that round.
Just for
Out of the whole
Suck it
game.
out.
Oh, I thought I
Suck it
actually won the whole
So
thing.
bad.
All right, third song, Dangerous.
Black.
Yeah.
Point Cooper John.
Well done.
Everyone's got a point.
It's a tie.
Not me. I didn't actually get a point because I didn't guess
No,
it.
you're the last one standing.
you got a
That's
point.
all right. Just
All right,
Is there a tiebreaker? That's it.
I'll do a tiebreaker for you. I'll hum something for
Okay.
okay.
you. All right, how about that?
This will be good.
This has
Yeah.
been a dramatic yes. There you go.
A very dramatic yes. Okay, this song, ready?
You have to keep going. Keep going, Jack.
The chorus.
TNT.
Trish Johns.
Dynamite.
She got it.
Go.
Winner.
She's a winner. She's
I
got a
am a
first
winner.
win of the year.
Oh, God.
Everyone's.
How was that humming?
That was
That
horrendous.
was good.
Yeah.
I was at
That was
tapping
good.
like- yeah.
Thanks, Trish.
Yeah, no,
Well, you're the only one that got it.
yes.
I don't know what the...
Put-
Trish, you hum
put-
one.
no.
It was actually that was actually the orchestra version.
Yeah. Trish, what's going on around the world?
You know, Cooper,
We're gonna get deep here.
You know, I'm just not...
you know,
Pause for a second.
I've left a bit of time before coming forward with this because I thought it might die a quick death. But I think we need to talk about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift
Oh, yeah.
because I'm actually
punching
really buying in on it.
Did you say she's punching over?
She's punching overs.
Oh, I don't know. He kind of looks. He's been a Swiftie for a long time. I've seen interviews from years ago where he'll refer to her and stuff.
Yeah.
He's actually a big fan.
I'm a Swiftie. I love Taylor Swift.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
She's going to the game. She's mixing with the family, the other
Yeah,
wives.
it's starting to happen.
and
Hugh
he's-
Jackman mixing with Hugh.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh,
well,
that
that's-
could be
and
a,
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
But one of his recent comments I really liked, and this was before she went to the first game, well, where it was shown anyway. And he came out and he said, I saw you rock Arrowtown. Why don't you come and watch me rock Arrowtown and see which one of us is the most lit?
Arrowtown's Kansas City.
Yeah. So that was a couple of weeks ago now.
That was a bit cringe in my eyes.
Oh,
He's smooth because he does a podcast.
yes, and he's
Yeah,
been
yeah.
talking about
Let's
her
not
now
shout
too.
it out. But
Yeah,
No, I don't even know
no.
what it's called.
Natural competitor.
Yeah, yeah.
We're 30, he's 31.
And Patrick Mahomes, after the first game, came out and said, I knew Taylor was in the house, so I knew I had to get the ball to Travis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh, Trish.
Is that a thing amongst players, like if they're bringing a new girl to a game or something, to try and set them up for success
knew-
and make them look good?
If you, I've seen it at training. Like there's been like girls at training and boys have. It's not
Well,
so much
girls
boys,
come to watch training.
Not so much boys try to set them up for it, but boys turn it on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've seen boys do some weird shit
Little bit
like
of
to try to impress people on the side.
Show
Travis
paint.
Kelsey, the only people I could compare, well, that combination to is Tom Brady and
Gronk.
the Gronk.
Yeah.
Gronkowski. Every single time I was watching it yesterday playing the New York Jets, every single
Who won?
time Mahomes, Kansas City,
Yeah.
every time Mahomes needs something, he goes to Travis Kelsey. You go, how don't they know? They're obviously so clever with their routes like Gronkowski was.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to stop. Anything
Yeah.
else, Trishy?
Tonight, when this comes out, you boys are doing a little show on at the Star.
Yeah, we are.
I'm thinking I might come and heckle from the crowd.
Okay.
Maybe take some peanuts, throw.
Go to the poke.
Yeah.
Play the pokies, Trish.
How do
No.
people get
No.
their tickets to that?
You just go to the Star website. They don't cost anything, but because there's a certain allocation.
So we're
Obviously in
charging
the
for-
sports bar.
So we're free.
You're free.
Yeah, yep. Well,
8 to 10 o'clock tonight, Friday.
well, I tell you
serious?
what, turn up, people. We're really going to turn it on. All right, we're going to turn it. It's going to be a great
I'm
show.
looking forward to it.
Yeah, right.
And Matt, did you tell me the other day that a man on the Gold Coast has been fined for taking his pet python surfing?
Yeah, he took his pet python surfing.
So
and,
what was the charge?
The charge, it wasn't about other people in the python in danger. It was the fact that the python is what do they call them? Like a koala or a kangaroo. You call
Endangered?
Not endangered, but
Just a reptile.
Cold-blooded.
Well, it's cold.
Well, put it this way: you can't take a koala surfing.
Exotic?
A koala, kangaroo, you can't. But
Protected.
the bottom
Native.
line, a protective native. Yeah, it's a protected species. You took it out surfing.
Is that the worst?
Listen to Steve Irwin over here.
So what happened is pythons are cold-blooded
car keys on.
creatures, and basically the only snakes that survive are the sea snakes, hence the name sea snakes, because they're more warm-blooded.
Yeah, and salt water,
So
too.
it'd be honestly like, for that python, it'd be like it floating in the Antarctic.
You know
But he-
David Attenborough.
And he just went, the bloke went, no, I love surfing.
It's a pretty stupid thing to do. really.
Hanging, I was going to say hanging five, but pythons have no legs.
Wow.
Hanging chin.
Just hanging.
Yeah,
But
hard
just
out.
the salt water itself
Yeah,
could
could dry it out.
Yeah, yeah.
But he didn't touch the water. It was like chilling on it. It was all right. I seen a video. There's a video of it.
Oh, fuck. Imagine we're out in the water and he comes out with a python around
Oh,
his
Matt
neck.
would have been running on.
himself.
Would have done a Jesus and been running on water.
Yeah, well, look, Trish, as you know, it's not a long bow.
Well, right, let's go to a quick bake and we'll wrap this show up.
Did you just say bake?
Greatest bake off.
I'll get my
We've still got a bit to go, but
predicament of the week.
we'll be back soon. Welcome back to the podcast. Dad's going to do a little bit of a rundown on the upcoming SAS Australia.
I love this show, and the last two times rugby league players have taken it out. Sam Burgess, of course, and followed by Millie Boyle, and
It's a good cast, this one.
it's a
I'm
great
impressed.
cast, and we've got a couple of rugby league players in again.
Read it out,
So
please.
I'm going to give the odds.
I love these.
Cassie Sainsbury, of course, who is Cocaine Cassie, spent a bit of time in Colombian jail. Shout out to all the people, inmates in the Colombian jail there in Bogota. I've got a 300 to 1. Anthony the Man Mundine, love Choc, mentally tough, but the body's been beaten up. You know, that's the hardest thing to have Choco. I got him 12 to 1. Abby Holmes, she was AFLW player and commentator, 32 years of age. Experience in Survivor, 15 to 1. Boyd Cordner, the favourite. Champion, mentally tough. Boyd needs a challenge, looking for a challenge. He's entered $2.50. Boyd. Dr. Craig Challen, now he was 57-year-old. He's the diver that saved those kids. You remember in Thailand, the cave diver?
He's pretty incredible.
Named joint winner of the Australian of the Year. Age is the disadvantage, but he's tough and he's gamed and he's skilled. I give him 7 to 1. Craig McLaughlin, I've got him 150 to 1. Jason Ackermanis, now he is a massive stirrer. He'll be a real entertaining, but he's 46. The age, AFL champion, I've got him at 6 to 1. Lindy Klim. Now, I don't know Lindy, but she's a 45-year-old model. And
She's to be married to
influencer.
Michael Klim.
Michael Klim. Okay, I've got 100 to 1.
Yeah.
Mahalia Murphy, who she's from Western Sydney, 29-year-old, represented Australia in both rugby union and rugby league. I think she could be a Millie Boyle. I've got her at 4 to 1. Matthew Mincham.
The diver.
Was a diver and had a really difficult time with certain things of late. Physicality and strength is my question. 20 to 1. Peter Bowl, Olympic middle distance champion, tough, committed, physical strength. He's had a difficult time. He's sort of, which he was wrongfully accused of
Yeah, his second test came back
unbelievable.
atypical.
Hung him out to dry, and he was innocent. I got Peter at 5-1. Stephanie Rice should be entertaining. Her and Akamenis, I guarantee this. It's 5-4 on that they will absolutely despise each other after the first episode. But I've got her at 23-1.
Why do you think that?
Personalities.
Just personalities.
Okay.
Tim Robards, of course.
He's a Newcastle boy, yeah?
Chiropractor from Newcastle. Of course, was one of the bachelors. I've got him at 12-1. Zimmer Anderson. Don't know Zimmer. She was on Neighbours and Mrs. Fisher's Modern Murder Mysteries. Never heard of the show. I've got her at 5,000-1. So anyway, think
do you
about
know
what
who
you may lose. You win some, you lose more.
Going with Dr. Challen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone who can navigate, who's smart enough to navigate those caves in those conditions, flooding, has to be pretty mentally
long time
tough.
ago.
Yeah, long time
ago.
Big shout out to Sam Burgess too.
He's going to be my pick.
Shout out to Sam Burgess, his partner Lucy, beautiful baby girl.
Oh, I saw that.
And there was a little bit of stuff going on in the birth. He said that it was the baby got stuck in the birth canal there for a second, a bit of manoeuvring around. I said, well,
you know
she
what?
got your DNA watching. Remember when he was going through that
Yeah.
thing in SAS? There you go. I don't know whether it's similar exactly, but
Well,
if you know my drift.
Okay, boys, who are your picks?
Boyd Cordner.
Okay, Jack?
Yeah, Boydo, I think. I can't really think of any. I don't really know many of the other people in there, actually.
I just think that doctor will have really some powerful mental strength.
I've gone Boydo 1, Mahalia Murphy 2, and Peter Bowl 3.
Okay.
Mahalia Murphy, that's a smoky. I like it. Righto, Trish, before we wrap up, any feedback?
No, I don't have any feedback for you, but if anyone wants any merch, I'm going to, you can get it for the next week. The link's in the bios because then I'm shutting it down for a bit.
Ooh.
Wow, shut down.
Trishy needs a little break.
Trisha needs a break. Great podcast today, guys. Grand final edition. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next week. Great work, everyone.